It's the weekly show about pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for rAVe TV. I'm actually recording this Tuesday late afternoon evening though, because I have flown into Denver. I'm here for CEDIA Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo, joined by Jason McGraw. Hey Jason, how's it going first of all?
Hey Steph, it's going great.
Are you really excited? I know I am. So I wanted to first ask you, what's changed? This is our second year in Denver. What can we expect?
Well, we have a bigger show floor this year, almost 100 new exhibitors on the show floor, a lot of new lighting brands on the floor. We have a whole new list of companies in our Launchpad area, new to market exhibitors as well. Certainly all the big brands that you know and love are on the show floor, Crestron, Sony, Legrand, Snap One, ADI, Origin Acoustics, Lutron. The list goes on. But we're really excited. The show floor looks great. Move-in's gone really smooth, and it's going to be fantastic for everybody here on Thursday morning.
Nice. I can't wait to get a sneak peek tomorrow. I did not get to go onto the show floor today, but I'm so excited. One of my favorite things is to see where everyone's putting everything together, and you're like, how is this ever going to come together by the morning of the show? And then it just does, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like magic. I think there's like magic elves that come in the middle of the night and figure it out. No, the exhibitors really have brought their A game this year. Magnificent exhibits. Lots of cool new products on the floor, a lot more micro LED display, like I mentioned, lighting. We have more sound rooms this year, so a lot more audio demos here for attendees to check out. So a lot of excitement, and I don't know if you can rotate around, but there's a sound room right here behind us in the main lobby from Sony that you can check out when you come into the hall. So very exciting activities here in Denver, and we're looking forward to welcoming everybody.
Yeah, very cool. Are there any trends in particular in terms of CIX? It's its second year and like ever happening. So are there any key trends that I should keep a lookout for when I am on the CIX show floor?
Well, we have 50% more exhibitors this year than last year, so we've definitely increased the number of companies exhibiting on the show floor. Again, we have lighting companies, connectivity brands, shade companies. I think that's also a big trend with the lighting control. We have over 20 sessions in our CIX conference program this year, and commercial topics as well on our smart stage. We have a networking reception on the show floor Thursday night on the CIX show floor area. So a lot more activity this year than last year with CIX, and I think attendees will also see more commercial products throughout the CEDIA Expo show floor as well.
Very cool. Yeah, because I know that you kind of market it as light commercial, resi-mercial, but you know it's kind of all becoming one thing.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen the trend, and it keeps increasing of residential system integrators taking on commercial projects. That percentage is increasing year over year, and we're definitely seeing that with a lot of the brands introducing new commercial grade products here for not only the residential market, but entering the commercial space as well. And it's definitely more of a hybrid event, really. And it's technology can be used across a lot of different applications, and I think we have that in ample nature here on the show floor this year.
I have kind of an industry question for you. Do you think that we're seeing more residential integrators getting into commercial, or more commercial integrators getting into residential?
Yeah, the latter. I think we're definitely seeing more residential integrators that are doing commercial projects, especially hospitality, retail, some higher education, certainly house of worship, bar, club, entertainment, etc. So that's kind of where we're focusing with the CIX. In terms of tech managers, we want to welcome. And of course, we welcome commercial system integrators as well. If you're here in Colorado, Denver area, come on down. It's not too late, and there's plenty of opportunity and a lot of free activities as well. So you can come down and get an expo pass. We have keynote sessions, manufacturer product training sessions. We have 65 of those from leading brands. So those are all free for attendees as well.
Well, I cannot wait to see. You have clearly put on an amazing show this year, and I just can't wait for it to start.
Well, we're excited, and we're glad to be here, and thanks again, Steph, for all your support.
Of course. Thank you, Jason. Gary, I'm going to pass it to you. Gary is still in Chapel Hill today, so he is going to take the rest of rAVe TV. Thanks, Gary. See ya.
Yeah, and I'm actually live. This is not recorded, so I'm hanging out here by myself in my own little closet office in my house, and I'm doing rAVe TV live for you. And hey, we got a lot of news. There's not just consumer news, not just high-end residential news, but there's also commercial news that we're going to cover today. So I want to thank you for joining me. Of course, rAVe TV is our live weekly TV show. We come to you live at ravepubs.com, on youtube.com/ravepubs, on LinkedIn, Facebook, and we really appreciate you joining here. We appreciate the support. And don't forget, for those of you who may not want to get up so early and watch us every Wednesday at 9 a.m., you can always watch the restream of this, which is kept together exactly the way it's originally streamed at noon every Wednesday, Eastern Time. So let's jump right into the news. I'm heading to CEDIA and to CIX myself tomorrow, so I'm excited to be going to the show. But of course, still got things I have to do here, and so I will report from you from the show floor live with Steph on Friday, but we'll have a live rAVe TV show tomorrow as well. Maybe I can get the time for that. If we have I'm not sure if we set a time yet. If we did, I'll see if I can pass that on. But let me jump into the home AV news. I think might as well do home AV news first, since CEDIA is going to be the bigger part of the show. And I am told that we're going to do rAVe TV right around noon Mountain Time, which basically means 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow and Friday. It's not an exact science, because we have to deal with Wi-Fi, we have to deal with getting the guests there, we have to deal with lots of little pieces, but that is the plan. And of course, you can always watch it by going to our website. Go to rAVe Pubs and then click on the rAVe TV link, and you can always see that, or you can always go watch it on YouTube. Anytime you want to see our rAVe TV shows, whenever we're doing them at trade shows, you can always see them, because as soon as they're live streamed, they are saved on our YouTube page at youtube.com/rAVe Pubs. So let's jump right into the news, some of the big consumer news, some of the big high-end residential news coming out of CEDIA already. We already reported a few things for you last week, and of course, all of our news is at ravepubs.com. But Somfy, SOMFY. For those of you on the commercial side, may not know who this company is, but they make shading systems. They now have a PoE motor, which is nice, because a lot of people have network cable running all over their house, and this gives them the ability to power the shades through the network. And yeah, it's pretty amazing how fast. I'm going to actually talk about a company coming up here in the future that's actually using solar energy to power shades. It's amazing how that segment of the industry is growing so large. Actually, the shading industry is way, way, way larger than the screen and the mount industry combined. So if you're selling screens and you're selling mounts, as an example, if you're a Legrand dealer and you're selling Daylight and you're selling Chief, you should be selling shading systems as well. Legrand also makes shades, but Somfy is one of those companies that makes motors for shades and also has their own shading line. Another new product, which I don't even know how to pronounce. I actually don't even know how to pronounce this product, so I'm going to do the best I can. This company called Vanco, who's been around, I remember when they started about 10, 12 years ago. They debuted at ISE. They have a product called Pexwir. It's Paexwir. I'm sure I'm butchering that, so if you're from Vanco, my apologies to you. But I will tell you that I don't pronounce that product, and I'm probably not going to be the only one. But they actually introduced a 48 kilohertz wireless audio extender. That's pretty awesome, because you're now getting much larger frequency, and wireless audio, of course, is big in the home. And I'm also told, by the way, I'm also told we might do a sneak preview live broadcast from the show floor this afternoon at CEDIA as well. So that could pop up on your screen if you're on rAVe Pubs. Don't forget, you can always follow everything we're doing at this show by going to ravepubs.com. Click on the link for CIX or for CEDIA, and you can get the news off our website. I don't know if that link is there now, but it will be sometime today. Next news of the day that came out of CEDIA already is BenQ is launching their ACE project. I like the name for this, ACE projector. Now, why is that a good name? Because it is aimed at golf simulation. Get it? ACE? I love it. It is a short throw golf simulation projector. We have all the specs on our website, but this is a growing, burgeoning market. Obviously, people are starting to put golf simulators not only in their homes, but the last 2 Marriotts I stayed at actually had golf simulation suites in the Marriott, which was kind of cool. I think that's becoming a thing as well. You can rent out these suites, and you can do it as a family thing or as a corporate thing. One of the hotels I stayed at was the Long Beach Courtyard, and in the Long Beach, California Courtyard, they had 2 of these golf suites, and both of them had BenQ projectors. So the BenQ Ace projector is aimed at that. It's a very narrow niche market, but I love niche products like that. Next, Control 4, finally, after all these years of people asking, added Apple Music integration into their control system. I don't know what took so long. I'm sure there's all sorts of licensing things. Now, don't forget, Control 4 is owned by Snap One, who is now owned by ADI, who is owned by Residio. That's an interesting stack, isn't it? So you got Control 4 owned by Snap One owned by ADI owned by Residio. Pretty awesome. But they've added Apple Music integration into their control system. And I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that because, the truth of the matter is, if you're over the age of 40, Apple Music dominates the music streaming market. It is almost 80% if you're over the age of 40. And most people that have smart homes, let's face it, are over the age of 40. It's an expensive investment. And so it makes a lot of sense for them to have Apple Music as a platform. All right. Next news coming out of Cydia already. Denon added a new series called the A series, which is they have a new AV receiver amplifier. Okay, here's the thing. You're going to see a lot of companies, Denon included, who Onkyo is another one that I wrote up yesterday that's on our website already, that are introducing 8K uncompressed processing. So they're able to, the big news 10 years ago was 4K, right? Now 8K. So now we're doing that on HDMI. We're also talking about what audio platforms we're compatible with. This particular receiver can handle all the major ones, Dolby Digital and Atmos, but also the new IMAX audio format. I mean, it does everything. So you can see that on our website if you want to know all the details. Okay. In other news, one of Steph's favorite companies in the industry is Leon. And Leon debuted. They first started out by sending us a press release announcing a new framed mount for the Sony displays, the new Sony Bravia monitors. But then they also, right after that, came out with a universal mount for all the others. So they have one custom specifically for the Sony Bravia family, but then they have one now that one universal system that works with all of them: Samsung, Hisense, LG. Any of the brands that are out there. I think that's kind of interesting. I think more and more people, Steph loves this. Steph actually has a Samsung frame in her house. More people like the idea of the TV sort of being hidden in the background. Of course, I'm a techie, so I like all the tech to be out. That's probably an age difference as well, but it is a great, Leon does a really good job. Now, it's funny, Leon used to be called Leon Speakers, but now they're just called Leon because, let's face it, they make more than speakers. That is the same company, but that story is on our website. And then finally, another piece of pre-Cydia news is Mirage Vision TV announced new leadership. And so Mirage Vision is that company that makes outdoor TVs. They also make outdoor commercial displays for digital signage. The big news coming out of there is Michael Campagna is now the president and CEO. Yes, the same Michael from Mimo has left Mimo. He's been at Mimo a long time and now taken over the presidency. And inside information for you a little bit here is that I believe he owns a significant portion of Mirage Vision now too. Although that was not in the press release itself. I think he is also an investor. But ultimately, Mirage Vision has a new leadership. Michael's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing. He's going to do some great things for Mirage Vision TV. You can, of course, check them out at miragevisiontv.com. Don't forget, you can scan the QR code that will appear on our screen. Usually it's on the screen. I'm not seeing it right now on the screen, but we usually have a QR code on our screen that allows you to see all the stories. Of course, you can always go to ravepubs.com to see all the stories. I'm not sure why the QR code isn't there. Maybe we'll pop that back up here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, I want to thank our 3 big sponsors, Shure, I want to thank Aver, and I want to thank Legrand. And hey, check it out. Legrand has a brand new system called Myriad. And I wrote about this prior to Infocom. All right. So the Myriad product from it's a daylight screen. It uses the It's basically looks like a frameless screen. It's tensioned, and you can. It's an electric screen that comes in 16 by 9 or 16 by 10 formats. It's 16K ready. It can be up to 16 feet wide. So you can kind of customize this, but remember, it has no black drop, right? So it has wires that go down that hold the screen, that tension the screen, but meaning the screen will look like it floats. So you can even do that with very large applications, screen applications. So check out this video, which details all you need to know. All right, everyone. The QR code is on the screen. Am I pointing the right way? Yes. Okay. It is there. Now, that Myriad product obviously is for home or for commercial applications. So crosses the barrier between CEDIA and CIX. Speaking of Pro AV, the commercial side of the market, let's review some news on the CIX side and the Infocom side and the commercial side of the market. First and foremost, our own esports show, the rAVe esports show, with Bubba Gedart, is in season 2. The latest episode featured the Boise State esports facility, and I think we have a clip of that video. I want to play this clip for you really quickly so you can kind of get an idea. I want you to start watching our show because esports is digital signage is the fastest growing segment of AV, and esports is probably, there's no one that tracks this, but probably based on my discussions with integrators, the second fastest. Now, it's not as large as digital signage, but I will tell you this. There's not a university in the United States that isn't planning on integrating esports into their programs, especially since the NCAA has now made a Division I sport, and the International Olympic Committee has said that it's going to debut in 2028 in Los Angeles as a sport. Second, high schools are also doing it as well. So high schools aren't going to spend the money that colleges will. So check out this facility from Boise State, all done with Extron, Nav, and a bunch of other Extron gear too, because remember, it's 3 systems in one. You have the live system, right? You have the streaming system, and then you also have what the refs and the coaches see, which is a version of it's real time, right? I mean, they're seeing what the players are seeing real time. If your audience, if you're there live, you're seeing it 20, 30 seconds delayed. So we have these 3 systems in one, and it's all handled at Boise State. So check this little clip out. So that's an excerpt of one of the episodes of season 2. I think episode 1 of season 2. So you haven't really missed anything yet. If you want to go watch our esports show, pretty easy to do. Go to ravepubs.com, click on the rAVe TV link, and you'll see the esports show as a drop down. So next, related kind of a little bit, Extron introduced a Dante wall plate. So here you have a XLR style connector that also has phono connector in it, and allows you to put audio right onto Dante directly from the wall plate. Brilliant, simple little device. Everyone's using Dante now, and everybody wants to put it on the network. Next, Marshall is at IBC right now, and they launched a set of broadcast quality PTZ cameras, literally broadcast quality, for auto tracking. But they also are recommending these for the house of worship market, education, and live markets as well. And we cover all 3 of those markets through individual newsletters dedicated to each one. Next up, we have Boom Collaboration introduced a new product called Zygo. I like that name, actually, Boom. Good job. Zygo, which is a USB-C docking station. This is going to be a bigger segment of the market. All the big video processing companies are going to have USB-C docking stations. The value of that is, remember, from USB-C out of a computer, we're not just sending video. We're not just sending audio. We're not just sending control signals, and we're not just sending Ethernet bidirectionally, but we're also providing power. So we have the ability to not only charge the laptop, but also power any other device that's connected to the USB system, and that includes that could be microphones, that could be cameras, that could be speaker bars, it could be whatever. So therefore, you're going to see more and more companies doing this. And then finally, Extron also debuted a 4 and 6 output HDMI DA, which is perfect for both commercial and residential applications. 40 gigs of bandwidth, which basically means it's completely uncompressed. So if you have 8K HDMI and you want to distribute it in a bar or restaurant or at a live event, you can do that without being compressed. That means it handles 4K, 5K. By the way, 5K, that is obviously the spec driven mostly by Microsoft Teams Front Row. And then, of course, 8K, which is, there's going to be a lot of 8K displays introduced at CEDIA. I'm most excited about seeing the content on these 8K displays. We've seen 8K displays before, but of course we haven't seen a lot of content for them, but that will be at CIX as well. So check that out from Extron. It is on our website. And listen, Chris Lyons may have retired from Shure, but Shure is definitely not sitting still. Shure is, thank you, Shure, for being a sponsor of rAVe TV since the very beginning, and thanks to Chris Lyons for driving that in a lot of ways, and Peter as well. But they have a little piece on how people are working together and how Shure is helping solve some of the problems that we're having with trying to figure out how we meet in the future when we're not all online. So check this out, this piece from Shure. I do want to do a special shout out to all of our sponsors for helping us fund the show and making the show. We are still the only live TV show that broadcasts and spreads the word about everything AV, whether it's commercial or residential. Legrand will be at CEDIA, and they're like literally their booth is like right in the middle between CEDIA and CIX. They're in booth 1506. Shore will be there in a number of booths, but they don't have their own booth there yet, but I bet they will next year. And then some other little other news pieces I want to close the show with today, real quickly. Please hang in there and stay with me. A great piece on our website right now, written about how look, here's the lack of a better term. There are some safety concerns all over the place, especially in schools, especially in universities. Even where I teach at the University of North Carolina, we had a shooter on campus last year at this time, actually. And the truth of the matter is communication is a big part of solving this problem. Getting the word out whenever there is an emergency on a campus or in a facility, whether it be a hospital or a corporate facility. And IP-based paging and intercom systems are a large part of that. So there's a piece on our website right now that I would encourage you to go read. It is actually written by Randall Lee, who has got decades of experience managing intercom systems. And of course, Bogan, who he works for, makes an IP intercom system called Nyquist that is very, very popular. So I want you to go read about sort of like how to position these and sort of how these are solving problems, because that's what you have to lead with when you're selling these kinds of systems. Yes, you can sit back and wait for the clients to come to you and ask for this, but this is a good example of something that you should say when you're out at a university. Hey, by the way, can we meet with your on-campus police department, because we have the capability of doing this and connecting it to the rest of the system, including connecting it to the digital signage system, or being able to do broadcasting in every single classroom at the same time. Another related to classrooms, another piece that's on our website is written by one of our own internal writers, which is all about how audio in the classroom has changed over the last few years, and some of the new products that are out there that are available for you for doing audio in classrooms. And it includes all the major brands and sort of the new product features and functions that are out there. So we did, I think, a good roundup of all the big companies out there. Speaking of big companies, rAVe is doing some amazing thing in the healthcare market. I want to give you access to something really special. If you don't really understand healthcare, you don't really understand how to get into healthcare or how you would even approach healthcare, rAVe actually has a free white paper specifically written around sort of like the connected health market, meaning how is technology helping solve some of the healthcare issues? Like, for example, if you have COVID, you want to be around a whole lot of people. We probably don't want you to be around us. And, but you still got to get healthcare, for example. Well, telehealth is becoming a big part of that. A lot of doctors are using at-home testing to identify COVID as an example, and then going ahead and writing prescriptions. Telehealth is going to be a big part of the market. It is a developing market, right? This is new and a developing market. So this white paper specifically around sort of easing healthcare worker burnout by allowing and sort of accepting this movement towards remote healthcare market. And of course, a big player in that is rAVe. So it's worth downloading that white paper and reading about it. You can scan that QR code and get access to that white paper through all the links that are provided there. And then finally, I want to mention to you before we sign off today, and I'll be heading out to CEDIA to join Steph and the team out there. I want to mention, last but not least, don't forget to sign up for Launch Week 10. Launch Week 10, some people are calling it X. I call it 10. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to call it. But Launch Week 10 is coming up here in October 21st through the 24th. We got some exciting companies that are going to participate in this. I've talked to a few of them recently. And we have probably some new product launches going to happen during Launch Week 10. There's not a whole lot going on in the fall with regard to shows. So this is a good opportunity for a lot of brands to introduce new products, new technologies, talk about sort of what's going on in the market in the fall of 2024, and you can join. It is free. You can earn as many as 10 CTS RUs if you join all 4 days. And that is in October. Just scan the QR code and sign up, or go to launch.com. If you go to launch.com, LAVNCH.com, and make a membership to the Launch platform, you get access to all of our events. At least all of our public events. I want to thank you guys and ladies for hanging in here, watching me by myself in my closet in my house. And I want to thank Carrie for producing this. And Steph, I will be joining you in a matter of a matter of 24 hours. And thank you everyone for watching. And of course, all of our rAVe TV episodes are at ravepubs.com/rAVe TV /TV, or you can go to ravepubs.com and click on the rAVe TV link, or the TV link, and we are out of here. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.